Hey there, Life Church. My name's Peyton Welch, and I'm so honored to be able to come and encourage you today in the Word. I mean, we've had a great few days of 21 days of prayer and fasting already, and it's only going to get better from here on out. I'm going to encourage you from a passage in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, and it's written by Paul, and he's writing to the church of Corinth, describing some of the recent hardships that he and Timothy have gone through. And so he writes in verse 8, "It was so bad, we didn't think we were going to make it. We felt like we'd been sent to death row, that it was all over for us." Come on, that's a pretty bad situation, isn't it? As it turned out, it was the best thing that could have happened. Instead of trusting in our own strength or wits to get out of it, we were forced to trust God totally. Not a bad idea, since he's the God who raises the dead. And he did it, rescued us from certain doom, and he'll do it again, rescuing us as many times as we need rescuing. You know, I feel a lot of times we can relate to Paul. You know, maybe we find ourselves in a difficult season where we don't see any hope or we don't see a way out. But Paul's perspective in this situation is amazing. It's inspiring. He says, it was the best thing that could have happened. Now, Paul and Timothy were in a life or death situation. To most of us, that would seem like the worst possible situation ever. But he says right here, it was the best thing that could have happened. And he goes on to say that instead of trusting in our own strength, we were forced to trust totally in God. They were forced to fully depend on the Lord. And you know, when we find ourselves in a difficult season, we find ourselves in a difficult storm, and maybe we're stuck and we don't know what the answer is actually very simple. It's found right here in this passage. It's fully depend on God. I feel like as humans, our natural tendency when we find ourselves in this storm is to try to overcome or to try to find our way out by our own strength or our own mindset or our own way of thinking. But let me just tell you, we can all save a lot of time and a lot of mental energy by just handing it over to God and saying, Lord, have your way. I trust you with my life. Because how many of you know, even youths become tired and weary and men stumble and fall, but those who trust in the Lord will renew their strength. As 2014 begins, I want to encourage you, let's all make a commitment. Let's make a New Year's resolution. As 21 days of prayer and fasting continues, let's cry out to God. Let's make sure that he knows that we depend on him. Let's depend on God like never before. Come on, he is our rock, our fortress, our shield, our strong tower. He'll never leave us or forsake us. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. That sounds like a dependable God to me. That's a God that you can depend on. In these next few moments, some prayer points are going to be showing up on your screen. And I just want to encourage you, take a few moments to pray over these prayer points and to fully depend on God in these next 21 days of prayer and fasting.